It's Tuesday, so it's Project Fit Day, and as many of you know, we've been kind of tracking through this with experts like our nutritionist and our life coach and our fitness trainer, and today we have Mary C. Lynn, our life coach. Final session with you, Mary.
Right. That's
very exciting.
Yeah, great to be back.
Yeah, thanks
You've
for
been
coming
such
back.
a great help. We are so thankful that you came along this journey with us. You've been amazing.
So we thought we'd give you a little update.
Yes. Tell. Do tell.
Kind of forced us to give
Yes.
an update.
I know.
So how are you doing, Cheryl?
You know what? There's been a lot of great things to celebrate about this. I've lost, gone down a size.
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
great.
that's awesome.
Yep, 10 pounds. So
awesome.
I'm very excited. And so one of the things is that we've talked about is I was hoping to do a little bit more than that by this point. So that's been a little disappointing, but I have to say I am the fittest I have ever been in my entire life. Like those
Right.
workouts.
Right.
You know, on Friday I was doing these things called burpees, which are, I don't even want to explain them, but they're some form of torture.
They really
and
are.
I was doing push-ups, and I remember when I started this journey, I couldn't do one push-up. And I was doing like 10 push-ups, and it was not like killing me. So there's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of really good things.
I'm glad you're saying celebrate, because I know when we chatted, you were saying, oh, I've only lost this amount of pounds, and what am I going to do? I only have a week left. How am I going to do this? And the most important thing is that you are celebrating and that you're seeing this as a lifelong journey. I think it's important for women to hear that it's not just a matter of saying, I've set a goal, and then if I haven't reached it, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Because it's not true. Because you've learned so much about yourself. And in fact, I'd love to hear, now I get to interview you guys, what you've
Let's start
learned
with
along the way.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Well, I too, I mean, I put it out there. I said I wanted to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm at 14, which I'm happy about. And
great, Maggie.
actually, Jessica, my trainer, kind of had me on that trajectory. She said, you know, it's not realistic for you to lose 14 pounds in this amount, or 20 pounds in this amount of time. So I'm happy. But yeah, I think it's grace. I think, you know, Mary, you and I have talked a lot off camera about the perfectionist that I am.
Yes.
And wanting to be a certain way. And if I said I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. And
Right.
so it's really just dying to that
Yeah.
to a certain extent and having grace. I remember the last thing you said to me in our last conversation was, you need to show yourself grace more often,
Yeah.
Maggie. And so that's been a real exercise. And I think that's one thing both of us were talking about. We've learned so much more about ourselves beyond food.
Right.
Oh my
Like just
gosh.
thinking about just how
Good.
we
Good.
respond to things,
Yeah.
emotional issues, like all of those things. I wasn't expecting to go into this journey learning all the things
I know,
that
I
I
said to Maggie,
learned.
I go, you got a psychologist to be our life coach, right? I just thought you were going to get somebody that was just going to be like, rah, rah, you know, you can do it, like work out harder. But no, you got a psychologist, which has been so valuable. One of the things I really have gotten from this is really the question you were asking me about, and this is the biggest thing about why don't you take care of yourself? Why aren't you taking time for yourself? And there's so many layers to that. You know, there's your self-worth in that, but there's also being a woman, which we tend to put everyone else first. And then add to that being a Christian. Greater love hath no man than this, and to lay down his life for a friend. So it's this whole idea of sacrificing everything to save the world, to help
Yeah.
other people. So actually taking time for me felt so selfish. It still does. Like I still have to tell myself that
know.
Mary C. Lynn has told me
I'm allowed to do it.
that
yes.
I should be taking time
That's
for
right.
me.
My voice should be ringing in your head.
It is, you know, and those are good things, like thinking about really, why don't you love yourself? Why don't you listen to your body? Why are you not making those good choices?
Yeah.
That's been for me the most valuable thing. And the last thing Mary said to me is you need to lose the goal, the weight goal.
Yeah.
And go for the change goal. Because, you know, if I were Oprah right now, I'd be on liquid protein shakes for the last week, right? And I'd come back and I'd be like, yeah, 15 pounds.
Exactly.
Right? But that's not actually maintainable for my life.
right.
And really what we wanted to model here was life change, like permanent life change, going to the root of things and being healthy. And, you know, like I said, I've never been this strong.
Yeah.
And I have arthritis. I was really limping a lot before this started. It was really getting bad. I don't limp at all anymore. Like, it's amazing.
And I'm glad to hear that you guys are actually being honest about, I messed up a few times.
Yeah.
We've had those conversations.
Cheryl.
Right? Because that's real life. Life happens.
Yeah.
Whether you get sick or you get very, very busy. I mean, both of you have crazy busy lives. So to think that I can reach my goal weight as if life has stood still, is just not realistic. So to keep that in mind is to have realistic goals and to give ourselves grace when we mess up, because we will mess up. But every time we fall is to learn from those mistakes. What did I do this time? What am I learning more about myself? I mean, to me, life is about always growing and being teachable. And what is the Lord showing us about our heart? And I think both of you learned a lot about what God's showing you and about his love for you and your value in
literally
his
have
eyes.
just cracked the surface.
I know.
Like, you know, it's been 4 months, but we've just
I've
you know, there's
got you
so
guys
much
booked
more.
in my calendar for
there you go.
I know, it's literally started a journey that's been so
Yeah.
so helpful and so healthy in so many ways. Like I've gotten so much more out of this than I really thought when I started, but they're different things in a way, and they're deeper and more lasting things.
And it's taken a lot of courage too, because actually going deep is harder than just doing the superficial. I'll just have to diet, I have to exercise, I can lose weight. But when you're willing to go deep and look at what's going on underneath, where there's true healing and there's true change that happens, it takes courage. So I
where do we
applaud
go-
you guys for that.
Where do we go from here, Mary? So, you know, the next year, I mean, we're not going to have you with us every single week.
Well, my
to
voice
kinda-
will be in your head.
Will be so permanently
Hopefully
implanted
it will,
into our
because you
head.
are so gracious and kind, really. I hope you are in our head.
But how do we keep this journey going, especially for moms and, you know, women at home watching that want to keep this journey going
I
as
think
well?
if you remember that you are worth the time, just that focus that I am valuable, that I am worth taking care of, that can already shift things for you. But also just all the things that you've learned, they aren't going to go away. Don't see your progress by how you're feeling in any given day. Look at your overall journey, see how far you've come, and remind yourself and celebrate those steps that you've taken, so that when you do have a bad day, you can pick yourself up and say, okay, I'm still Maggie, I'm still Cheryl, I've still grown so much, I can keep going forward. So continue to set those goals, continue to give yourself grace if you don't meet them, but set realistic goals as well, right?
Well, Cheryl, I can't believe it. It's been 4 months.
We've got, well, three months and 3 weeks.
A couple weeks left. A week left.
A week left, yeah.
So I think we've done pretty good.
we have done good.
We have done.
Done awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you're really way stronger too. You were telling me about in the gym and just the
Yeah.
results you're seeing.
Yeah, and health-wise, blood pressure's been down. Crohn's is kind of under control. So, yeah, I think it's a win-win on both sides. And thank you again for all of you at home who have been journeying with us. Again, crossroads360.com. Mary C. Lynn has her blog on all of the tips on how you can help this journey keep going, and just how to be aware of how to stay healthy throughout this process. So definitely log on to there, and you'll want to tune in next week for our finale next Tuesday. Mary will be back. Thanks again.